My name is Larry Bach, and I am really happy to be part of the stage for the North Carolina Songwriters Co-op at this year's Carrboro Music Festival, happening virtually, obviously, and it's very, very strange, but we're still getting together, as it were, and making music. I'm going to play a set of mostly songs that have been written over the last several months during pandemic and lockdown. The first and the last songs in the set will be songs that were written prior. This first one was the fruit of a really great road trip that I went on in the middle of January. Mostly I went to visit my son, but along the way I got to visit a couple of cool places where some great music had been made over the years and kind of worked its way in and turned into this song. It's called White Lines. Storm comes fast, night falls hard, 100 miles to go before I sleep. Joni's on the radio, no regrets, coyote, and the white lines of the freeway. My regrets are washed off by this cold, cold rain. Somewhere west of Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm tired, but I'm clean and I'm still moving. The open road's where I want to be. White lines of the freeway set me free. Next morning, Natchez Trace at an easy pace. There's not another car for miles. Down in Tupelo, they've got this radio. Elvis heard it and he went out and set the world on fire. I don't have designs to set the world ablaze. Mostly I just want to sound like me. My true voice is up ahead, another mile, maybe 10. The open road's where I want to be. White lines of the freeway set me free. Well, I am not a prisoner of the white lines. That's not who I am or who I'll be. I'm driving down the road to my deliverance, and the white lines of the freeway drive me. Last stop, Muscle Shoals, where the swampers roll, surrounded by their history and gear. The Rolling Stones, Kodachrome, guys who played on, still crazy after all these years. Well, I am not as crazy as I once was, or as happy as I will tomorrow be. I'm finding my old smile with every passing mile. This road is disappearing under me. White lines of the freeway set me free. I'm finding my old smile with every passing mile. The open road's where I want to be. White lines of the freeway set me free. Nick Hornby wrote this about his favorite song. He wrote, "One of the great things about the song is that those first few bars on wheezy harmonica and achingly pretty piano actually sound like they refer to something that has already happened before the beginning of the record, something momentous and sad, but not destructive of all hope. I was really taken by that description and felt the songwriter's challenge in that sense of exploring what happens before the beginning of this song, which is one of my favorite songs. So I wrote this. It's my most recent song. It's called Mary. You say I'm scared and that much is true, but you don't know me the way that I know you. A boy with a car who can play the guitar, a head full of dreams, a rock and roll star. You wanna drive through the night and give it our best, see if we're cursed and see how we're blessed, thinking it over in my bedroom mirror. I'm alone with my face facing fear. Mom and my dad don't have a lot to say. I'm the youngest of 8, I think they're counting the days. They're watching TV and my hand's on the door. My mom and my dad ain't that young anymore. Will their baby go? Will she take a chance on the boy with the car with a gig at a dance? Will the wind blow her hair all the way to the shore? Is Mary meant for more? I got dreams, same as you. An open road, we share the driving, trading songs, I feel alive, breaking through. I'm running too. Waiting your Ford in the last of the light, cocky as hell, but hey, you're alright. Radio's loud, my dad makes a face. I finally decide to get out of this place. More running away than running to you. Say what you want, but I swear that it's true. Crossing the porch, got a head full of plans. Wind catches my dress, screen door slams. This is a song about what's been going on in our country this spring and summer, and for long before that. It's called Original Sin. The left knee pressed into his neck, the face a twisted sneer. Sworn to serve and to protect, that won't happen here. George Floyd bound on the ground, they steal his breath from him, and the camera doesn't lie, it's murder and a sin. Tear gas, rubber bullets, he takes a rebel stand. Photo op outside a church, a Bible in his hand. With words like thugs and criminals, he shows us just who he is. A man devoid of virtue, paragon of sin. Red's for the blood-soaked cotton fields, white's for the hoods and the sheets, blue's Soldiers for the nightsticks, guns and shields. Law and order on American streets. Red lines, white schools, cool blue swimming pools. Lovely if they let you in. Know us by the flag we fly, the colors of our sin. Cops committing murder, president peddling hate, people thinking treason is a thing to celebrate. And then there's me, I walk these streets safe within my skin. And you don't have to like it for it to be a sin. Granite faces, army bases, schools and cities, all these places named for racists, tainted by the past. Bronze and marble lose their sparkle. Founding fathers tilt and topple, tumble from their pedestals at last. Monument I'd like to see is the Potomac, blue and white, with cherry blossoms on the breeze, clouds forming in the sky. A river shows you where you're going, and it shows you where you've been. Tossing a stone, reflect a tone for our original sin. Like a lot of people, certainly a lot of songwriters, I was really sad back in the beginning of lockdown time at the death of John Prine. The very first song I ever learned to play on guitar was Paradise, and I learned it on my mom's Yamaha FG 335, which was way, way, way too big for me. All through the years when I would play that song, I would often tell the story of how I learned to play it, and then I recently decided I would write a song about how I learned to play it, and then that song kind of grew from there and became a song about more than that. It's called Mom's Guitar. When I was a child, I learned to play on Mom's guitar. It was too big for my body, so I'd lay it on the floor. And her hootenanny songbooks would be opened all around me, and I'd look for songs without too many chords. Rocky Mountain High was mostly much too hard for me, but it had this one song by someone called John Prine, and he could paint a picture with just a D, an A, and a G. When I was a child, that was paradise. Summer of my sophomore year, I bought myself a D18. I could get my arms around her, swore I'd never let her go. It made it hard to get to class, but that was fine with me. There were far too many songs I had to know. And me and Greg would jam on Franklin's Tower, jam on Morning Dew, jam on Mississippi Half, step uptown to Lou. The music never stopped, we could play till morning's light. And don't think twice, it's alright. And the spruce tops turn to yellow, and the faces show their lines. Every song I ever followed led me back to paradise. The next guitar I'll own, Blake is building in his shop right now. Gonna fit me like a glove, it's gonna ring just like a bell. When I finally meet her, I will play until I drop. And where we'll go from there, I cannot tell. Maybe high up in the Rockies, or over by the sea, sitting in a hammock, just looking at the sky. A rainy English morning, or a day in Tuscany. Anyway, it's paradise. When I was a child, I learned to play on Mom's guitar. This is a song about a woman named Harriet Glickman, whose obituary appeared in the New York Times in early April of this year. And I just thought what she did in the spring of 1968 was interesting and worth commemorating in song. The song is called Dear Mr. Schultz. Dear Mr. Schultz, I'm a housewife and a mother, and I've been thinking a lot since they shot Dr. King, asking myself how I can contribute to draining a great sea of violence and pain. See a tortuous road up ahead, and I'm writing this letter on behalf of our kids. Dear Mr. Schultz, you're a famous cartoonist, creating worlds every day with a stroke of your pen. You can't bring back Dr. King, and it won't make amends, but you could give Charlie Brown some black friends. There's a tortuous road up ahead. You could write a brighter future for all of the kids. Dear Mr. Schultz, I'm sitting alone in California, suburbia, and I'm not naive. You've got pressure from syndicates, clients, etc. It's still too soon is what they want you to believe, they say. Dear Mr. Schultz, you know what to do. Tune out that grown-up babble and follow your heart. All of the children counting on you sincerely, Harriet Glickman. Dear Mrs. Glickman, thanks for the letters. I'm sold. Keep an eye out for Franklin. Phoebe Snow was a character in an advertising campaign in the very early 20th century. She was a cartoon, a New York socialite who would take the Lackawanna Railroad out of New York City and go visit the Poconos or go up to Buffalo. And because the Lackawanna used really clean coal, she could ride all the way and then get off the train and not be sooty. Her name appeared on railway cars in the 1950s and 60s and was borrowed by a little girl named Phoebe Laub growing up in New Jersey. This is her story, The Ballad of Phoebe Snow. She lived a better sermon than was ever heard or preached, felt a higher calling than the highest note she'd ever reach, sang her greatest song far away from radio. And I remember crying at the death of Phoebe Snow. Born in 1952, the family name was Laub. She sang the blues and jazz and folk, made her parents proud. And the trains rolled through New Jersey, right past her childhood home. The Lackawanna boxcars bore the name of Phoebe Snow. Phoebe Snow had to go upon a trip to Buffalo. Her gown stays white from morn till night upon the road of anthracite. With the triple aught 18 in hand, 4 octaves in those pipes, she'd ride into the village and hit the open mics. Fame beset her suddenly like few had ever known. The first record went to gold and they called it Phoebe Snow. Valerie was born, they said she wouldn't live for long. They said she'd never laugh or smile. They said it, they were wrong. They told her, put that girl away. Phoebe, she said no. And a mother's love became the greatest work of Phoebe Snow. She loved her as a baby, loved her as she grew. She said, my girl's the reason that I live my life as well as I do. Others said it was a shame, the way it took its toll. They just couldn't comprehend success like Phoebe Snow. Phoebe Snow had to go upon a trip to where I don't know, shining bright all through the night, somewhere everything's alright. She lived a better sermon than was ever heard or preached, felt a higher call, highest note she'd ever reach, sang her greatest song far away from radio. I remember crying at the death of Phoebe Snow. Phoebe's with her Valerie, they'll never be alone. I cannot help but wonder at the life of Phoebe Snow. So I'm going to play one more song in my set, and it appears on my forthcoming album, Rounding the Bend. As I said at the outset, I'm playing mostly new songs written during pandemic, but in 2019 I recorded this album at the Rubber Room here in Chapel Hill, and it will be available out in the world perhaps by the time this airs in October, or if not, then shortly after. This song is called Beauty in the Bend. The problem with playing songs that you haven't written recently is you forget how they start. There is a tree not far from me, it'll make you stop and think. Trunks of perfect U-bend, like you find beneath your kitchen sink. Twice before it almost fell, scars are now invisible, but the turns remain, and they come to tell the tale of a tree that found a way around the end. Beauty in the bend. I know a man who plays the blues on an old Kalamazoo. You used to play him cleaner. Life is hard, what can you do? Sometimes he forgets a line, sometimes he falls out of time. If he hits a wrong note, he just smiles and pushes up to pitch and back, halfway down again. The beauty in the bend. I see the tree and I hear the note. I do my best to stay afloat. Paths that I've been traveling turned out to be dead ends. I'm looking for a way to walk, searching for the words so I can talk about the things I've begun to comprehend. I'm learning, and I'm returning on a journey through the bend. Well, thanks for tuning in. Much gratitude to the North Carolina Songwriters Co-op, to the Carrboro Music Festival, and keep enjoying music. Hope to see everybody back out in the world of live music again sometime very, very soon.